Right, so a quick overview of your 6 weeks mental training or well-being program. I'm gonna briefly run through this. Um, Obviously read through yourself below this video. There's a download button. If you click on that, it will bring you to this file right here. So the introduction, basically, I believe that it's just as important. Most people, a lot of people, they're training in the gym to look after their body, and at the same time, a lot of these people are miserable, within their own skin. They're unhappy, um, and it doesn't make sense to me to make a conscious effort to train your body to make it become healthier, but abandon your mind at the same time. So I have a bit of a chest infection on me here, so you'll have to bear with me. Yeah, so I don't believe, and I think you should train your body, train your mind. If you do that, you'll be physically healthier and you'll be mentally healthier too. You know what I mean? So that's the purpose of this. This program will help you if you suffer anxiety, depression, you're a negative Nelly, an overthinker, which is usually associated with anxiety, want to become mentally tougher or resilient, and want to gain more confidence in yourself or do things that you'd like to do right now in the moment, but don't do due to fear. So read that bit yourself. I'm not going to go into that. I'll go into the second one because it's very, very important. The same way exercise and healthy eating for just one day doesn't produce results, practicing the exercises outlined on the pages to follow will do little for you by merely practicing them for one day. Just like exercising and eating healthy, for transformative and lasting results, the exercise sizes throughout this program must be practiced regularly and consistently. So if, let's say, you wanted to lose 3 stone, and let's say up until today you were eating crap and you weren't training, but you joined the gym today, you went to the gym and you cleaned up your diet today. Tomorrow you're not going to be down 3 stone. The same is true with your mind. If at the moment you're unhappy or you're very anxious, you might be stressed out, depressed, whatever it may be, you, by practicing the exercises here outlined below, like meditation, stuff like that, just for one day, you're not going to be happier tomorrow. You know what I mean? It's something that you have to do consistently. And when you do it consistently, just like exercise, and you're going to produce the results that you want to produce. So it's very important to stay consistent with the exercise in this page. More than likely going to miss a day or two, but don't leave it for any longer than 3 days. Try your best to practice this program every day if you can. So how to use this program? There's 4 exercises throughout this program, which will be broken down over a 4 week period. So in week one, for the first 7 days, you're just going to practice meditation. Week two, I'm going to add another exercise in, but you're also going to practice the exercise that you practiced in week one. So you're going to do meditation and mental reconditioning. Week three, habit formation. So, in order to change habits, we have to repeatedly do the opposite of what we've been doing. For a consistent period of time until it becomes habituated with us, you know what I mean? So, as I said, meditating for a day is not going to help you eliminate anxiety or depression. You have to do it consistently for a period of time until it becomes a habitual way of thinking, or a habitual mental attitude, you know what I mean, to have. So, week three, you're just going to continue the exercises that you learned in week one and week two. So, week four, you're going to continue to do your meditation. You're going to continue to do week two's exercise, which is mental reconditioning, but we're going to do another exercise as well, which is going to help you overcome disempowering beliefs. So, week five, continue to do meditation. You're going to continue to do mental reconditioning. You're going to continue to work on overcoming disempowering beliefs, and you're also going to do another exercise, perspective training. That's just going to help you see things for what they are as opposed to what you think they are. See things from a more positive viewpoint, find good within bad situations, etc., etc. So week six, just like week three, is habit formation. So you're going to practice all the exercises that you learned over the past 6 weeks, or over the 6 weeks to come. You're going to practice all the exercises that you learned, just to habitualize with each of them again. So what you need a journal, fresh journal, and a pen. So this is only a guide. This program, you have the real work is going to happen within the journal, so you need to get one of those. Week one, meditation. We suffer more and often in imagination than we do in reality. That's all I'm going to say. That is very, very true. Just think about yourself, for example, all the things that you worried about in regards to the future that never came true. So you are suffering in the moment, about something that in the moment you thought was going to come true or was going to happen, but it didn't end up coming true, or happening. So we suffer more often in our imaginations, than we do in actual reality. And what meditation helps you do, it simply allows you to suffer less. So it helps you focus your mind on what's happening right now in this moment, in this minute, in this hour, in this day, not tomorrow, not yesterday, not in 2 weeks, not 2 weeks ago. It helps you focus your mind right here, right now. When your mind is focused right here, right now, and if there's nothing going on you in your immediate environment that is a threat to you, or that is slightly dangerous, or um, it's not going to you're not going to feel anxious. So our bodies, you can't differentiate between what's going on now and what's going on within the future. Anxiety is nothing more than the anticipation of future threat or future danger, whether that danger or threat is major or it's minor. Our bodies, and when our brain detects any form of threat, whether the threat's here in this moment or off into the future, it's going to react in an anxious manner to simply get away from what it thinks is a threat, from a threat that it thinks it's actually in front of us, in front of it now. You know what I mean? So it can't differentiate between the future and the present. So when you're thinking about things, negative situations and scenarios that may or may not happen within the future, the body actually thinks that you're in a dangerous situation right now. So you get anxious. It thinks that you're in front of a saber-tooth bleeding lion, and it makes you anxious to prepare your body to fight off the danger, or to freeze from the danger. So let's say if you were in front of a fucking tiger and you're out in the forest and you're seeing a tiger, you're gonna freeze, or it's gonna help you flee away from the threat. And whether the threat is a fucking tiger, or whether it's your job, your boss at the calling you into for it, and a very important, he needs to have a word with you in the morning. So yeah, so that's basically the fight. Um, the fight or flight or freeze response. You know what I mean? So every one of us have it, and it comes from an evolutionary viewpoint. It's very, very important that we had it. If we didn't have what we call anxiety or fear, if everyone was fearless and didn't have anxiety, we wouldn't be around today. We'd simply be dead. You know what I mean? Because only up until about 400 or 500 years ago, even here in Ireland, we were living in little tribes and with our family. We were living in forests. We had to travel miles to fucking get water, and we had to go around and hunt all day to catch food. Now we were lucky in Ireland that we didn't have lions or tigers, but in a lot of the other countries across the world, they did. So they needed to be aware. They needed to feel fear at the right time. They needed to feel anxious at the right time to keep them on edge, in case they don't stroll out in front of the bleeding lion and they're looking for to get a bit of food. You know what I mean? So, in today's day and age, it's much safer. We live in homes where we're really in dangerous situations, but the brain and the body hasn't fully adapted to modern civilization. So, while we're living in 2018, the brain and the body is still living in the fucking stone ages. You know what I mean? So that's why we get anxious. And if we want to overcome, if anxiety is crippling for us and we want to overcome it, we have to focus the mind in the moment now. And what we're doing right now, our mind is focused on the present moment, not thinking about the future dangerous or negative scenarios that may or may not happen within the future. And if we're not in threat right now in this moment where we're focusing on it, bodies are not going to react in an anxious manner. So meditation, it's very important. I'm not going to go into all the other exercises in as much depth as I went into the first exercise, because I simply believe that this is the most important. If you practice this and practice this alone, it's going to completely transform your life. So what I'd recommend you do, 5 minutes before you go to bed every single night, do some form of meditation. There's a guide here, a simple little guide. If you've never meditated before, you might find it a bit hard. What I'd recommend you do is go into your app store, download an app called Headspace, and you get 10 free days. But you can keep repeating them. You can go back to day one. You can get them. You can keep repeating them. I recommend you do that. That will guide you through the process. So yeah, you have to do that every day. 7 days a week, 5 minutes before you go to bed, ideally, and then on your journal. So let's say if you meditate today, um, let's say if you meditated this morning, for example, later on in the evening, um, ask yourself this question: did you actually meditate, or did I actually meditate today? Just write yes or no. How did you feel prior to meditating? So you may have felt a bit stressed out, a bit anxious, a bit worried, or a bit down within yourself. Write down however you felt. And then the next question is, how did you feel after meditating? So if you did feel anxious, stressed out, or depressed, you more than likely felt a bit better after doing it. You know what I mean? So just do that in your exercise. So week 2, mental reconditioning. You want to know the recipe for the sick mind? Here it is. When you think of the future, focus on all the things, the negative things that could happen, instead of the positive possibilities, your goals, and the things that would make you excited. When you think of the present, dwell upon what's missing from your life instead of what you have, and what would be worse off without. When you think of your past, fixate on your failures, what could have been, and your sufferings and hardships. When you think of yourself, think of your faults and your weaknesses. So that's basically the recipe for a sick mind. So if you want a healthy mind, what do you think the recipe will be? It's to do the complete opposite, and that's what the exercise for this week is going to help you do. So I'll give you an example of how when you read through these exercises, you might be thinking, this is kind of a bit weird. So I'm going to just give you an example of how they work, how it's relevant to you. I'm just going to use the first one. So think about and write down one of your past achievements. This could be something small or something major. So a lot of people, when they look into the past, what they think about and focus on is a failure, an embarrassment, something dreadful that happened to them, all the what could have been. And when they're focused on that, they don't see all the things that went right within the past, and the moments that made them proud, the past achievements, etc., etc. And what you focus on, you feel. So if you're focusing on negativity, you're going to feel negative. If you focus on the positive things that went on within your life, and the positive things that happened within your past, you're going to feel positive as a result. You know what I mean? So by practicing all these exercises within the main exercise itself, by doing this every day, you're going to rewire the way you think. You're going to recondition your brain. If you do it consistently, let's say if you have a habit, when you look in your past, you think about something that went bad, and when you look in your past in, let's say, 6 weeks time, you're going to focus automatically on something that went good. The next one, think about and write down something or someone you are grateful to have now in your life. Choose something that if you lost it or them tomorrow, your life would be worse off without. So a lot of us as well, when we're looking at our lives right now, we tend to focus on what's missing, what we could have, and what other people have, but what we don't have. And where we're focusing on all that, we don't see or recognize or appreciate the things that we have within our life that we'd be lost without, if they were taken from us, you know what I mean? And the same again, what you focus on, you feel. So if you're focusing on lack, you're gonna feel like shit. But if you focus on what you actually have, if you focus on what you're grateful for, you're gonna feel good as a result. So the exercising this week is just gonna help you recondition your ways of thinking, and as a result of doing so, not only are you gonna think better, you're gonna feel better too. So week 3, habit formation. You're gonna just continue to practice the exercises in week 1 and week 2. So meditation for 7 days and mental reconditioning. A note on consistency. In order for this program to completely change your mental attitude, ideally you should practice it every day. However, if you miss a day, don't be too hard on yourself. Just start back again the next day. Never miss more than 2 consecutive days. So at the start of this presentation, I already said that just like if your goal is to lose 3 stone, and up until today you've been eating crap and not training, but you join the gym and you start eating healthy today, tomorrow you're not going to be 3 stone lighter. You have to continue to do what you've done today, over a consistent period of time in order to produce that result. The same is true when it comes to achieving a goal in regards to your mental health. If you want to become happier, healthier in mind, more confident, less fearful, less anxious, etc., etc., by practicing these exercises for a day, you're not going to be happier, healthier, more confident, less fearful, less anxious, etc., etc. by tomorrow. But if you practice them every day consistently, by the end of this program, and by the end of this 6 weeks program, you will be more happier. You will be less anxious, be less negative, and you'll be more confident, and you'll be less fearful of the future, etc., etc. You know what I mean? So consistency is key. But if you miss a day or two, don't be too hard on yourself. Just jump back on the bandwagon. So week 4, overcoming disempowering beliefs. So Roger Bannister, he was the man who ran the 4 minute mile. So before he ran it, people believed that if you tried to run a mile in 4 minutes, that your heart would explode out of your chest. Scientists actually said this as well. So because that was a popular belief, no one attempted it until Roger Bannister gave it a go. He gave it a go, and he ran the mile in 4 minutes. He was the first person to ever run a mile in 4 minutes. And after he done it, hundreds and hundreds of more people started to do it. Thousands of people have done it since he's done it. So because what the point that I'm getting through this is, if we have negative beliefs that are untrue, they're gonna hold us back. They're gonna make us act in a different way. And if we need to act in a certain way to feel better mentally and emotionally and do better physically, so to look better or to do better within work, if we have negative beliefs, it's gonna hold us back from actually doing that, from actually thinking the right way, of feeling the right way, or acting the right way, and producing the right results, and whether it's in regards to your body, in work, etc., etc. You know what I mean? So is the same is true as well. People believed for thousands of years that the world was flat, although some philosophers and stuff suggested that it wasn't flat, that it was actually round. As a result of having such belief, very few people ventured outside their countries because they simply thought that they're going to fall off the side of the earth. Now millions of people travel outside their own countries for the simple reason that they know they won't fall off the side of the earth. So people had a belief that the world was flat, and because they had a belief, it limited their behaviours. They stayed within their comfort zone. They stayed within their country, and then until that belief was smashed, it was made to be untrue. Behavior started to change. People started to venture outside their comfort zone, started to venture outside their comfort, their country, and living a better life. They went traveling to foreign countries, etc., etc. Now, if that belief didn't change, we more than likely wouldn't be traveling to different countries. You know what I mean? So you can kind of see how negative and untrue beliefs can hold not only populations back, but us as individuals too. You know what I mean? So if you want to feel better within yourself, more positive, optimistic, and actually do better within your own life. It's very important to uproot negative, um, irrational beliefs that are holding you back and keeping you down mentally and emotionally. It's important to uproot them, dig them up, and get rid of them. You know what I mean? And this is what the exercise. I'm not going to go into it, but this is what will help you do. Very important that you read this section. Um, this week I want you to liken your courtroom, liken your head to a courtroom, your beliefs to someone suspected of committing a crime, and your rationale, which is to say your realistic way of thinking. We all have a realistic and unrealistic way of thinking, and your rationale is your realistic way of thinking. So to use your rationale as a judge and jury, as soon as a suspected criminal walks into a courtroom, and the judge doesn't brand him a criminal right away and treat him as such. He compiles the evidence first and then acts in accordance with the evidence he compiles. In life, most people fail to think in this manner when disempowering thoughts or belief enter their minds. Just like, so you look at the negative thought or belief as a suspected criminal walking into a courtroom as I'm going through this, right? Or as you're reading through it yourself. So a negative, untrue, or irrational belief springs to mind, and they immediately accept it without challenging it or searching for evidence. So over the next 7 days, I want you to basically, when negative thoughts spring to mind, I make a conscious effort to bring to mind negative thoughts that kind of keep you down, make you feel like shit, or hold you back from doing things within your life. You're going to bring them to the surface, write them down, and look at them the same way that a judge and a jury would look at a criminal or a suspected criminal when they come up into court. They don't just say, yeah, you're a criminal, everything about you is right. Off into jail, they say, right, where's the evidence to suggest that he's a criminal? Where's the proof? So you need to do the same things with your beliefs, and this section will help you do that. So that's basically that. Perspective training. So this morning, as you complained and felt as if your life was crumbling down around you due to your mobile data not working, a young mother, or maybe two of them, was awakened by a doctor in Our Lady's Hospital to be told that a 6-year-old daughter had passed away during the night. So while we get ourselves down over, now we all have hardships from time to time, things that are very, very heartbreaking for us. But a lot of the time that we just complain and we get upset and we get stressed out and we get anxious about really irrelevant little things, things that are not really that important. And while we're complaining and going on as if our world is ending, people are going through real fucking hardships. You know what I mean? So, perspective in life is everything. Not only having the right perspective will not only help you become less of a moan bag, less stressed out, anxious, or less upset when small little minor things are going on around you that usually annoy you. But when big things happen to you, like death, people dying close to you and stuff, if you have a strong and well trained perspective, it's going to help you overcome real struggles and hardships. So, the objective of week 5 is to help you train your perspective and prepare it for the hardships that are to come, and to also allow you to become less stressed, anxious, or upset in your day to day life. To not allow things that usually stress you out, make you anxious, upset, or depressed. To not allow them to do that anymore. You know what I mean? So that's what we'll do in week 5. Just like a muscle that is exercised every day, when you engage in perspective training consistently, your perspective becomes tougher, more resilient, and positive. This is very, very true. So it's, as I said at the start, consistency is key. You have to do these things consistently, over and over again. Let me see. So where are we now? Wait there 1 second. So that's perspective. So we're in week 6 now. So habit formation. You just do all of the exercises that you've learned up until week 6. You practice them all again for 7 days. And that's basically that. So Moving forward, by now I hope you are noticing a positive difference in your mindset and an improvement in regards to your mental well-being. When it comes to getting into good shape, it's never a good idea to just stop once you get into the shape you desire to get into, for the simple reason that your progress will slowly reverse. So it may have happened to you in the past, that you know someone that they lost a few pounds, and because they lost a few pounds, like, right, grand, I'm getting to where I want to get to. I can let my hair down now. I can start eating pizzas, start drinking. 2 months pass and they're at the regaining all the weight that they've lost again. So it's like fucking getting let's say your teeth are in bits and you get your teeth whitened. If you don't brush them every day, they're gonna go back to the way they were prior to getting them whitened. So it's the same with your body, and it's the same with your mind as well. If you do things to improve your mental health, once your mental health is improved, if you stop doing the things that it helped you improve your mental health, I'm not saying it's going to become you're going to have an unhealthy mind, but it's not going to be as strong as it would be if you continue to practice the exercises or engage in the activities that you engaged in to actually improve your mental health. So moving forward, just keep doing what you've been doing, and maybe even come back to this program every couple of months, etc., etc. So that's basically that. That's the program. I tried to do a brief overview, but you know me, I yap on. But read through it, put it into practice. If at the moment now you're not happy within your own skin, ask yourself, am I causing myself to be unhappy? Or is my life just unfortunate? More than likely, your life is not unfortunate. You're just making yourself unhappy. If we have to look, if your life was unfortunate, all our lives would be unfortunate. Unfortunate things happen to all of us. But not everyone reacts the same way to what happens. So let's say death, for example. Um, two people, be two brothers, they're the same biological makeup. Let's say their father dies because one of them might have a strong mentality, the other might have a weak one. The weak one is going to crumble or is going to take that much worse than the one who has a strong one. You know what I mean? So bad shit happens to us all. What differentiates the happy from the unhappy people is unhappy people do things to improve their mental well-being, while unhappy people don't. You know what I mean? Now, it's not to say everyone who's unhappy doesn't make an effort to try and improve their mental health. That would be a negative generalization to make. But the majority, I'd say, of unhappy people do fuck all to improve their mental well-being. I'm not saying people that suffer with depression, bipolar disorder, schizophrenia. I'm talking about people that just and unhappy people, miserable people. You know what I mean? So practice these exercises. You're gonna reap the rewards. And that's basically that. So if you have any questions or you need any help or anything, be sure to hit me up with a message. So talk to you soon. Bye bye.